Hey guys, Black Projects 51, another update. I was looking around for, well, hold on a second. I'll showing you is easier. Yeah, so we're talking about this, and you guys all know that I've already built this kit for a client, Timothy Alberino. Um, and you guys know that um, I am looking for other options to replace this area right here. However, what I was all excited about, but now realize I can't do it because it's too large in diameter, was I was going to take this Kentucky Fried Chicken mashed potato container or whatever, and I was going to cut it right below, right along here, all the way around, and that was going to be my core. And then I found this piece. Uh, Not quite sure what that went to. And I was going to put that on there. And that was going to be my propulsion section. Not anymore. Dang it, man. So, because I think that would look really cool. But, um, like I said, it's way too big. And it'll interfere with the landing gear. So, yeah. Doggone, man. However, I could still use this over that spot, but this tab here is worthless, so I'm going to cut it out. I mean, I don't know. That by itself, I mean, yes, I could add some details to this and do something more to it. And a good idea would probably to drill a hole in the middle to have a central light source. I don't know. But, still sharing this with you, um, that might give you an idea for one of your builds. So, you know, I also keep the lids um, for any potential use. I can't imagine one right now for that particular one, but you know, you never know. Um, so I'm going to pause and see if I can't find something I can actually use, get excited about, and then come back to you. So, that central thing I want to put in here. I was going through my junk and I got a pair of old binoculars here. I'm telling you guys, I I am in process of removing the lens um, from this, and it's proving to be a bit difficult. I don't want to damage this. It's pretty rugged plastic. And I'm just right now, I'm just trying to get, there's a little ring of that's supposed to hold the lens in here, and that's what I'm fighting against right now, but I'm winning. I am winning. I sound like Trump. Yeah. Wow, I got stuff popping everywhere here. Well, it's a good thing well, these are glass lenses. They're not going to bust easy, but, and yeah, if I can get this thing to, yeah, there's oh, crap. Mm, I ended up breaking it. I have another one, so it's not like, what do I got left in here? Not much. I'm going to go ahead and, I got a little dog hair on the end of my, yeah. So what I'm doing here is just, I don't want to not be able to use this if I need to. And zap her with a little bit of accelerator. So the accelerator is a great product, but it can be a bit messy. And I'm not quite sure how, what I could do. I just need to pop that lens up. I got a hole right here. And what I'm thinking, I took the other end of this thing off. And maybe bingo. Okay. So I succeeded. Now, what am I thinking, guys? Well, I'm thinking it sits in here like that. And then we got all this sticking out, which I got to make sure it's sitting square, because what I want to do is trace around here with a marker to know where I got to cut this thing. And I will probably, because of the green dome, I'll probably have to cut it just a wee bit more. So, what the heck did I just drop? My X-Acto knife blade cover. Okay, so I'm going to put my X-Acto knife back together. It's just got my scraping blade in it. Okay, so these big old glass lenses, not sure what I would be able to use that for. I mean, it would magnify a light source, but it would also probably make it generate heat, just like it would if the sun was shining through it. So that part of it, I don't have any use for, but it perfectly fits. I mean, exactly over the end of this. So, um, what am I thinking? Well, if I were to cut out this middle section on the bottom, I would probably have to stay within inside that feature and I don't know if I'll be able to use this either. And the reason why, I mean, I think it would be cool. I just want to look inside and see how it presents as far as being a central. It actually looks really cool. And I don't think you guys can really appreciate it here, but I like the tapered going up to the ceiling look because it goes along with the slope of the um, saucer. So what I'm going to do here is get all this stuff out of my way because I got to process this idea. You know, I pulled this out because it's got cool design features, but I would, if I were to use this, I would only use like a quarter of an inch off of this end, which may still be an option. And it just so happens to be slightly smaller than this. Do you see how these ideas are coming together? And then I was given this flashlight, which it's a pretty cool flashlight, but I have so many flashlights, I don't need another one. What do we have here, guys? What else do we have here? Well, the on button could become a hatch. These could be landing gear. Um, if I were to cut it off down here, I could put or somewhere down here, I could put a big engine bell, rocket motor, okay? And then take all this stuff off, the lighting effects. But you could kill two birds with one stone with this. Um, but, you know, and you could add onto this to the top and have it terminate into a pointed or slightly rounded uh, feature, like a nose cone. Well, there's this cool part, but it's asymmetrical. It wouldn't really work. Um, this would be great for something else, though. And it could possibly find its place maybe in this. I don't know. When I get these ideas, and I shouldn't be fiddle farting around with that because I've got to sort out this and unfortunately, it's not wanting to stay sitting square because it's got very little room down inside to do so. But what I need to do, find the scriber, I just bought new tips for these. You know, it didn't come with any spare tips, which is stupid. So what I'm doing is very carefully taking my scriber and I'm scribing around. Dang it, it moved on me. Um, I got to get it to where it'll stay put. Okay. So I carefully scribed a line there, and it'll remove a whole lot of this material that I don't need. And because the landing gear still has to hold this thing up. So, yeah, this thing's pretty weighty. Um, I guess what I'll do is get my Dremel tool with the cutting wheel on it and start going to town and see how it does. So I'm going to call this part one on this thing. Uh, as far as today's work, and I just think this is going to function better for the look I want. So, but it's very thick, it's heavy. This plastic is very tough. It scribes very easily though. So when I take the cutting wheel to this, it'll tell me a little bit more about the properties of this material moving forward. And I just think that's going to give us the coolest option. And I think I'll still be able to cut the the holes in this thing, uh, the windows, if you will, because I want to open up some of this to have some windows, at least 4 windows, maybe. I don't know. I'll just have to see. But yeah, this thing, you got to be kidding me. I just broke another scribe tip. Glad I got more. I ordered 2 packs. So, anyways, I'm done scribing. I'll change out the tip later. Um, so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to get this thing cut, and I'll follow up with you in a moment. Hey guys, let me bring the microphone over here. Well, I went with this binocular thing, and what I'm doing right now, well, I chopped it off. It falls out right below the dome very tight. So what I'm doing is it impinges on this area all the way around. This does. So I'm going to be making 4 cutouts. So this thing will be able to sit down a little bit lower because it needs to. So that's what I'm working on now. But my rechargeable Dremel tool battery died on me. So I'm waiting for it to charge so I can continue with this. I'm just trying to think what else. Yeah. And it's got a really neat conical feature on the inside. And I'm just wondering, well, I know I'll be putting a light source inside here. So at the point where I get this all ready to install, I'm going to go ahead and try to line this with aluminum tape and just, the best I can. Maybe it'd be better if I just sprayed it with some silver. Probably I'll just spray the inside of this with silver. I think it would be easier. And once I get all these cutouts done, it's going to, well, it allows it to sit down into the bottom of this very well. So I just got to wait on that stupid Dremel tool. Uh, that thing's like 40 years old. I need to probably replace it. Maybe with something that's got, lithium ion battery cells in it. I don't know if, or some other higher end of, sorry guys, I'm multitasking while I'm talking to you. So either way, I'm going to make this thing work. It's much lighter since I cut a third of it off. So, and then once I finish trimming these cutouts and stuff, yeah, I don't want to make this thing too heavy because the landing gear still has to support the weight. So, um, this will probably be the heaviest thing inside the saucer. So I should be okay because those landing gear are pretty robust. They're thick. I don't think just the glue point, I'm going to have to make sure I get that 100%. So, yeah, once I get this all done and cut out, I'll probably go ahead and make another video. Um, I've had to pause and be gone for an hour at a time since I last spoke to you and came on. So, yeah, I'm going to just keep plugging away on that. And I've got to figure out, once I get these notches done, because I got the floor, and the floor's got to sit down over this. Because once this gets pressed all the way down, this may also dual as the light source for whatever I put on the bottom. And I haven't found that element yet. I got this. I was thinking about this black disc and stuff, but um, no. If this thing was translucent plastic or something, I could make a better go of it and do something with it. Um, But, you know, oh, anyways, yeah, this, whatever I do with this thing here, it can't interfere with the gear. So I got limited space in here for this thing to function. This hole was already in it, so, and then this, like I showed you, it's conical inside, so it's got a very nice feature. Um, and also, everything that's above the floor of the main deck uh, has to be finished out nicely, and because it's going to be seen. This is kind of a rubberized plastic. It's very hard, but there's a rubber element to it. And yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. I've got all my areas marked that I got to notch out, but I got to wait on that stupid Dremel tool. So this will be part one, like I said earlier, I think. And then I'll make a part two in regards to building up all the infrastructure and power plant stuff. So, yeah. And I think once I get all the notches done and it goes and sits down, it won't impinge on this dome. But what will probably have to happen is this diameter on the small end is almost the exact diameter of this inside diameter. So I don't know if when I'm done notching this and putting it down, if um, it's going to drop it down too far, and then I'm going to have to add something between the top of this and the bottom of the green dome. And you know what I'm thinking about doing? This dome is green, but I think if I paint it translucent blue, if I have translucent blue, which I think I just found it. Yes, I did. So I don't know why it's not down there with its counterparts, but it's not. So I'm going to put it in my rack here where it belongs. So I thought I had run out of transparent stuff, but I've got red, green, and blue now. So, and I don't see any others over there floating around. My Boo Bear just got home. She's taking a bath. She's she's just so wore out. Poor thing. She's been working her butt off. She's a good girl though. She's not afraid of hard work. I just don't like not being able to see her much. And when she does come home, she's tired and then wants to, yeah, zip around on her phone for a while and then gets up and goes to bed. So I can't fault her. I mean, she wants to be as well rested as she can to be able to do the hours she's working. Tell you guys, if you got a good woman, keep her. I'm not saying a perfect woman because there is no such thing, just like there's no perfect men. Um, but you take care of your wife and she'll take care of you. Meanwhile, let's see. Um, I had some other ideas floating around too. This thing was coming into play, but not anymore. This disc, I'm putting it back because I still got tons of junk I could look through if I'm not finding what I need uh, in my little assortment of bags. I, went and picked through my larger bins. Um, and let's see. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to do, guys. I'm just going to keep plugging on this. And once I get this all sorted out and where it's functional, I'll make another video and share it with you. Peace.